You reap what you sow. Let me repeat myself. You reap what you sow. That's right, guys. You reap what you sow. And don't worry, I'm not going to get all John 3:16 on you. As a matter of fact, welcome back to 1822 MC Adventures and More. This is my channel. My name's Pete. Let's get with it. And today what we're going to be doing is we are going to be eating some of what I have sown, and I'm going to be reviewing this bodacious, ridiculous knife. That's right. Stay tuned. Yeah, you reap what you sow. I sowed some peppers, red peppers and some green peppers, some tomatoes and some other odds and ends throughout this year. And today we're going to make a quick little western omelet or a western scramble. Did not grow the onion. Now, come springtime, I may plant some onions. I'm preparing beds. There'll be more on that later. But so what we're going to do is, while I'm making breakfast, I'm going to be cutting everything up. This is my vintage Buck 184. Completely ridiculous and bodacious survival knife. This is back in the days of Rambo. And I must say, a while back I looked it up on eBay to see what these things was worth. I was absolutely shocked. These things are bringing in some pretty damn big money. And I did do a little research on them, and they started out as a prototype for the military, and I guess the SEALs played around with them, but eventually another knife won out. But I guess in certain circumstances it would have its use. I think of it as just a big sharp kitchen knife. I have taken this out in the woods. There is videos of me using this in the woods, but the knife weighs 2 pounds without the grappling spikes or anything inside the handle, and the case weighs like a ½ pound. I mean, this thing is like carrying a freaking big old hatchet and a machete. But it is a good knife. It's American made. It's a Buck 184. This is one of the earlier ones. And like I said, I was shocked at what these things are worth. I just thought it was a buck knife. I acquired this thing back in the day. Somebody owed me some money. I took it in trade. So I was more than happy. And here we are 30, 40 years later. I'm absolutely happy. So let's cut this thing up. See if I can do this without cutting my fingers. How's that for organic? Alright, so what we're going to do here is how's that for some American steel? You know, even if I had a custom sheath for this thing, it would still be ridiculous. But I have a feeling that I will be using this in an upcoming video, just because then I don't really need to bring a knife, a machete, or a hatchet. I think this will fill the duties of all of the above, and all then I would need would be probably just simply a pocket knife. Oh yeah, how's that look? And when I was growing these things, I dressed them up with some compost, and that was it. No fertilizer, nothing, just compost and a little bit of chicken poop. And these things is looking mighty, mighty good. Okay, actually 101% organic. Oh man, that is really some kind of good. Crunchy and nice and sweet. Now if I had some ranch dressing, I believe I'd be dipping this stuff and we'd just skip the whole meal. I'd go pick another one and pig out. Now, I don't got no mushrooms or cheese, but you know why? Because we don't need it. And please be careful. This knife is extremely sharp. Alright, now I'm gonna, that's about an equal amount of peppers. I'm gonna go ahead and give this to my resident loafers. They're still growing. They're not quite ready to lay eggs yet, but I can assure you I will be having some mighty, mighty, mighty colorful eggs in the near future for videos. Hey, chickies. That's right, don't be shy. Come on over here. What do you guys think about fresh peppers? Good? Yeah, I'd say that is most definitely yard bird approved. So now we'll cut up an onion, and I will not be giving the onion to my chickens, because if you give chickens onions, legend has it that the eggs will taste like onions. Not a good thing to do, guys. Alrighty guys, so we're ready to go. What we're going to do is I'm going to turn the camera around. We're going to fire up the Coleman stove, and I'm going to saute this in butter, and then I will put it over into my flat iron, and we will try to make an omelet. At best we get an omelet, at worst we get a western scramble. So let's go ahead and do this. Alrighty guys, let's get this show on the road. Woo. Hey. That right there. Real butter, guys, real butter. Yes, sir. Freshly cut onion and freshly picked red and green peppers. This is going to be really good. So while we're waiting on that stuff, one of the things that I did to this here knife was I put, if I remember correctly, this is like 25 feet of camouflage cordage. So when I wear it, I can actually tie it off onto my leg or tie it off to a piece of gear. And underneath all that, there's actually a sharpening stone. I don't know how good it would be for the actual knife, but it would sharpen the crap out of a pocket knife or a fish hook, I know that. But today's assignment class is to Google buck 184, and you'll learn everything you want to know about a buck 184. They're actually a pretty cool knife. Like I said, in the near future, I'll take that thing out and we'll do something with it. And of course, I should probably tell you why I was so shocked when I found out what the knife was worth, because probably around 1989, 1990, something like that. Somebody owed me money. I took it in trade. I figured, well, it's a buck knife. It's worth at least 50 bucks, right? So here we are, 30 some years later, and the thing, if it was in mint wiener condition with all the accessories, would be worth about $1,000. From what I saw on eBay, it's worth at least 300, but it's not for sale. Because of how I got it and where I got it and how long I've had it, I see no reason to get rid of it. It's certainly a pretty heavy-duty knife. Now, I don't think it's the kind of knife that you go batoning wood with and all that kind of insane shit, but I've used it as a machete. It works pretty good for that. You can do some chopping with it. Yeah. Is it the world's greatest bushcraft knife? Absolutely not. Way too heavy, way too limited in its uses. But it's Rambo cool, American made by Buck, no less. So, it is what it is. Sometimes the cool factor makes up for the ridiculousness of a knife. Just like, that's why sometimes you see me with a K-bar or a bayonet. World's greatest bushcraft knives? No, but they're cool, and they will open up a can, and they will do some whittling, and in case I ever needed to stab a rabid saber-toothed tiger or a wolf or some weird shit like you'll find out in the woods, well, I got a pretty good knife. Daniel Boone his ass, right? How's that old story go? Daniel Boone killed a bear with a knife when he was a kid. Something like that. I think I want some more butter in there, and it's getting a little low, so put a little more on here. Hey Gizmo, what's up, bud? Coming over here? Come here. Hey, come here. Come here. Look who came to visit, guys. Come on, Gizmo. This is my hammock mate. This crazy little cat sleeps in the hammock with me because sometimes I come out here at night on guard duty for the chicken house, and I relax out in the hammock, and the cat curls up with me, and everybody's happy. Now, of course, you know, if I was really hungry, I could put a potato in there and maybe some mushrooms and, you know, whatever else tricks your trigger, right? Cheese, all kinds of good stuff, right? I think what we'll do is we'll set that aside. We'll call that good for right now. All right, nice and clean, right? In case you didn't know, the trick to an omelet is make sure you got butter all the way up around the whole thing. All right, so, let's see what happens here, guys. Probably should have beat these up a little bit before I did this. Oh well. Here we go. we go, guys. All it needs is a little salt and pepper. And normally I would use 2 eggs, but I've been trying to casually drop a little weight because, like most folks, I definitely did the Corona 20. And I've always found the easiest way to lose weight is just put the fucking fork down. It's just that simple. Not super hot, but it's warm, so I'll have to hang on to it like this. Alrighty guys, here we go, the taste test. I don't have any hot sauce on it because I don't have any. I need to go to the store and get some. Freshly chopped vegetables and an egg. Very, very tasty. Yeah. That is how you reap what you sow right there, guys. Look at that. How's that? Now that beats the shit out of a Mountain House dehydrated meal any day of the week, don't it? Alright. Well, bon appetit, guys. Alrighty, guys. Some freshly picked peppers and chopped onions and an egg, cooked on my Coleman stove out in the yard. Doesn't get much better than that. That's what I'm talking about when I say you reap what you sow. And this is part 1 of a 2-part video, so part 2 is coming up right behind this. I had a butternut squash challenge my 184 to a wrestling match. So we'll see who comes out on top of that tomorrow. So yeah, when I show you what my gardening techniques are, you'll probably be pretty surprised. And unless you live in an apartment, you can do what I'm doing. And if you live in an apartment, you can still do what I'm doing on a very small scale. And think about it. You plant 1 pepper plant and you get say a dozen peppers off it. As expensive as they are in the store, you save a little bit of money. Yeah, you spend a lot of time taking care of the plant, but what else you got to do, right? Thank you, Joe. Potato head piece of shit. Anyways, so if you're out and about and you're at a yard sale or whatever and you run across a buck 184 and the price is right, snatch it up, because they're actually, to a collector, they're worth quite a bit of money. And so, even though this is not the end of the video, the take-home message for the video, at least one of them, will be Google buck 184, and you'll learn all you need to learn about something like this if this has caught your eye. And like I said, my lunch hooks are just a little bit too big to hold on to this thing with the grappling hooks. If you had a smaller hand, it'd probably be just right, but hand in a knife fight might actually come in handy. Protect your thumb and your first couple fingers, right? But without them, it fits my hand pretty good. You know, and it's got the Rambo aviation tin shears. I guess that's what that's for, so you can saw aircraft aluminum. This is a serrated edge, nice way of saying fuck you. And of course it's got about a 7.5 inch, 8 inch, whatever it is, drop point blade. I believe it's a drop point. And it's a buck. So when we come back in focus, what we're going to be doing is I'm going to fry up some of that squash that I'm talking about, and I'm also going to try my hurricane oven. So when we come back into focus, that's what we're doing. If you're still with me, I appreciate it, and wait till you see what we do next, because it's going to be awesome. So, yeah. Fresh vegetables and a buck 184.